It's all very verbatim what these people will do to you. So if you can bear with me here, I'm actually just getting set up for another video. But I hope I can receive some kind of blessing, some kind of donation and help in the situation that I'm in, because it's got to be one of the heaviest crimes going on to target an individual. And I know that there's a lot of targeted individuals, and I would like to be able to create my mission and movement to actually help those people. But the people on the opposite end of this COINTELPRO, the programming, counterintelligence, is they're countering our actual intelligence is the problem, and they're utilizing Freemasonry control to control charities and operations that can help us get out from underneath. So bear with me here. But it's a sick crime that's happening to us. Targets. I'll be right back. Just needed to grab my drink. I thought I had my drink here. So it is a very weak crime that these people take. So in my next video, I want to create a prayer value based on the fact that we haven't been allowed to the financial resources to even make it to church or be in front of our loved ones that would otherwise hopefully support us in prayer. And so the values that I create for, my Heartworks healing journey, and for, prayers for emotional and physical healing are they're on point. The writing that I have, I should say, not just, I keep my personal prayers separate, and I do that because it's more like a church program then. So again, forgive me for being all over the place in this video, but I'm very much hurting out here, and physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and within relationships. I'm absolutely hurting for love and support, and the people that have done this to me, they know well that I've been trying to draw the line in that sand this far and no further, and they swarmed my life. They had a bloody syndicate, a whole group of people, a whole community of people coming to harm me in my life. So, number one, it is persecution, or it is, identity theft and sabotage of my life in that way, where it's otherwise suggests to other people like I'm just crazy, I don't know what I'm talking about, that kind of sort of thing, and it's not right. So again, I'm just trying to get set up here to be more centered and whatnot. Because it's set up my life in that kind of way, it's really made things hard for me to break through the cycles of abuse that have been in. Cycles and circles, making me doing circles around my average way about me, and the average areas of my life that I could absolutely take into my own workmanship and my own craft. And it's exactly what these people want to stage to be utilized against me. So, excuse me for any of the clamor here. Just setting up these little microphones on this stand for my videos. So either way, that I hope that you take the absolute faith necessary to the Lord for me, that I can break through this and I can reach breakthrough in my life. I absolutely hope that you have an encouraging faith regardless of the persecution that we're all faced up with, because there's an awful lot going on in the world trying to silence us from waking up to the truth. And I hope that you guys legitimately trust in the Lord, that the Lord is mightier than the sword. And this sword that I'm talking about is literally like a spiritual warfare. It's a psychological thriller type of movie of a warfare. So just know that regardless what happens to our human bodies, that the Lord is bigger than all of these issues that are happening to us out here, because they're literally just trying to drive a wedge in between you and Jesus in any kind of fashion that they can. And so it might get harder before it gets better, if it gets better. And if it doesn't get better, then just know that the Lord's judgment is upon us and humanity, and the Lord is just taking us home. The Lord never promised us it'd be easy. It's just the sheer fact of the matter, and it's not easy to be up against 100 or 1,000 or 2 million clowns in the world that literally want to stage people's lives up for anger and sadness and shame, fear and hopelessness, and just all sorts of ways that they're willing to take inside of our lives to leave us desolate on the very land that our forefathers conquered. So, and though it's just, if you ask me, it's kind of wrong to suggest that it's through division and conquering that we're able to make things this way. I mean, granted, a whole world, one world religion, one world government, one world this. On the exterior, it sounds fine. But internally, it's driven by sources of evil. That's much like the Messenger movie, where it's like leaving people alone on purpose. Their ship is just going to hell. People are waking up 40 years in advance, or was it 90 years in advance. There's no way that they're going to live to even see that beautiful land that they were sold on. And I think that that's basically what it is kind of like with social media. So you're sold on these lies upon lies upon lies, and then when you're reaching out for help to be determined in life, you can see through a very heavy crime. There's people that are already in the system because it's been a breeding ground for people that are predators and people that are working within mafias and community group thinking efforts, much like Aleister Crowley and these fucking Satanists. Excuse my French. I'm actually faced up with the trouble there, and it's from the poisoning, because that would be not able to hold my truest nature, and I still can't, because it's a bad habit. But I legitimately blame myself and forgive those who did this to me. I forgive them, for they know not what they are doing. Because they literally, I don't think they could have done any better, theoretically, with the abuse that they've gotten and been driven into. So I literally don't think that they do know any better. I literally think that they just, I mean, and obviously in parts and parcel they do know better, but I just don't think that they could have done any better. I just blame myself for not seeing the crime and seeing the poison sooner, so that I could hopefully just, run 50 miles and ask people for water and food, shelter, and then get up and run 17 miles in that same direction. Find people. I wouldn't even care where I would have ended up, to tell you the truth. I would have been better off digging a hole somewhere in the middle of a freaking Amazon forest and digging, 86 more for them trying to 86 me this way. Like, I don't know, I just would have been better off. That's all. Just going and hopefully making friends with coyotes and wolves and actual animals that are way more protective of, the jungle Aikido ninja than humans are. So, I don't know, I just would have been better off. That's all I can say. And if I wasn't, then I guess that was my time. It would have been my time. But I really don't think that was going to be the case. I really do think that I would have been better off if I would have just gotten away from people poisoning me in any which way that I could run. Run. Get away. Don't stay. So anyway, I'm going to stop this message. I hope that I can earn your support on my next video. Your encouragement and your support means a lot to me. I don't get very much out here. I'm really trying to grow in the fashion of being able to speak out. I'm very tired right now, so I'm hoping that I can kind of shift back into an energy and just create it regardless of how I feel. But anyway, thanks for being here. Peace.